I never expected my mother's will reading to change everything. I thought I knew exactly how it would go. My golden child sister would get the house, the inheritance, maybe even Mom's jewelry collection, while I'd walk away with some token gesture and a lifetime of feeling invisible. But when the lawyer cleared his throat and said, "Before we begin, there's a video message from your mother," the room fell silent in a way that made my skin prickle. My sister Jessica sat across from me in that sterile conference room, her designer handbag resting on the mahogany table like a statement piece. She'd always been the favorite, the one Mom bragged about at family gatherings, the daughter who could do no wrong. I was just Emma, the quiet one, the disappointment who chose teaching over law school, who married for love instead of status, who somehow never measured up no matter how hard I tried. Mom had made that crystal clear my entire life. At my wedding, she'd spent the entire reception talking about Jessica's promotion. At my daughter's birth, she'd asked when Jessica might give her real grandchildren, as if my beautiful Lily didn't count. Every holiday, every birthday, every single family gathering was a reminder that I was second place in a race I never knew I was running. The screen flickered to life, and there was Mom, sitting in her favorite armchair, the one by the window where she'd read her morning paper. She looked smaller somehow, frail in a way I'd refused to see during those last months. Her hands were folded in her lap, and her eyes, those sharp blue eyes that had looked through me so many times, seemed different.
Softer.
Haunted even. "If you're watching this, I'm gone," she began, her voice steady but quiet. "And there are things I need to say that I couldn't say when I was alive. Things I'm ashamed of. Things I'm sorry for." My sister shifted in her seat, uncomfortable. She wasn't used to Mom being anything other than confident, authoritative, always right. But I couldn't look away from the screen. "Emma," Mom said, and my name in her mouth made my throat tighten. "I failed you. I failed you in every way a mother can fail a daughter, and I need you to know that I knew it. I knew it every single day, and I hated myself for it, but I didn't know how to stop." The lawyer paused the video, sliding a thick envelope across the table to me. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside were letters, dozens of them, all addressed to me in Mom's handwriting. Letters she'd written over the years, but never sent. Letters that started with, "Dear Emma, I'm sorry I missed your recital today," and "Dear Emma, I see how hard you try, and I don't know why I can't tell you that," and "Dear Emma, you deserved better than me." I couldn't breathe. Each word was a knife and a bomb at the same time. The video continued. Mom's eyes were wet now, tears tracking down her cheeks in a way I'd never seen. Not at Dad's funeral. Not at any of the family crises we'd weathered. Never. "When you were born, Emma, I was terrified. You looked exactly like my mother, and she was the cruelest woman I'd ever known. She made my childhood a living hell, and when I looked at you, I saw her face. I know that's not fair. I know that's not your fault. You were an innocent baby, and you grew into a kind, compassionate, beautiful woman despite me, not because of me. But I couldn't separate you from her in my mind, and I punished you for it. I gave all my warmth to Jessica, because she looked like me, because loving her felt safe. And I destroyed you in the process." Jessica was crying now, real tears, not the performative kind she used to get her way. "Mom, what are you talking about?" she whispered to the screen, but Mom couldn't hear her. Mom was gone. The confession continued, each word unraveling the narrative I'd built to survive. "I watched you become a teacher, and I mocked it, but the truth is I was jealous. You have a gift for connecting with people, for making them feel seen, and I never had that. I watched you marry David, a good man who loves you deeply, and I belittled your choice because he wasn't wealthy, but the truth is your father, and I never had what you two have. I watched you raise Lily with patience and joy, and I barely acknowledged her, because admitting you were a better mother than I ever was felt like swallowing glass." The lawyer cleared his throat. "There's more in the will itself, but your mother wanted you to hear this verse." He opened the leather-bound document and began to read. "To my daughter Emma, I leave my house, all its contents, and the bulk of my estate. I leave you the photo albums and the family heirlooms because you're the one who will treasure them, who who will pass them down with stories and love. I leave you the financial security I pretended didn't matter because you deserve a life without struggle. And I leave you this apology, inadequate as it is, because you deserved it decades ago. Jessica's face had gone white.
What?
That's not, Mom, you said. She looked at me, and for the first time in our lives, I saw fear in her eyes. Fear that she'd lost something, fear that the pedestal was crumbling, fear that maybe she'd been a prop in Mom's dysfunction too. The lawyer continued, "To my daughter Jessica, I leave a trust fund sufficient to maintain your current lifestyle, and I leave you this truth. I didn't do you any favors by making you the favorite. I taught you that love is conditional, that approval must be earned through achievement and appearance. I taught you to look down on your sister, and in doing so, I robbed you of a relationship that could have been your greatest treasure. I hope you and Emma can find your way back to each other, but I'll understand if my damage is too deep." The room was absolutely silent except for Jessica's quiet sobbing. Mom's face on the screen looked directly at the camera, directly at us. "I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I want you both to know that in my final months, when I had nothing but time to think, I saw everything clearly. Emma, you were always enough. You were always more than enough. You were the daughter who called every week even when I was cold to you. You were the one who brought Lily to visit even when I barely acknowledged her. You were the one who kept trying, kept loving, kept hoping I'd see you. And I did see you, finally, when it was too late to matter. I saw you, and you were magnificent." The video ended. The screen went black. And in that conference room, surrounded by legal documents and mahogany furniture and the ghost of our mother's words, something shifted. Jessica looked at me across the table, her perfect makeup ruined by tears, her composure shattered. "Did you know?" she whispered. I shook my head. I had no idea. She laughed, a broken sound. "I spent my whole life thinking I was winning something. But there was nothing to win, was there? She was just broken, and she broke us too." I reached across the table, and after a moment, Jessica took my hand. Her grip was tight, desperate. "I'm sorry," she said. "For everything. For every smug comment. Every time I acted like I was better. Every family dinner where I let her treat you like you didn't matter."
I'm so sorry, Emma.
The lawyer quietly excused himself, giving us privacy. In the silence, I pulled out one of the letters from the envelope and read it aloud. "Dear Emma, today you graduated from college, and I didn't tell you how proud I was. I didn't tell you that watching you walk across that stage, knowing you'd worked 2 jobs to get there, knowing you'd done it all without my support, made me realize you're stronger than I ever was. I didn't tell you because I'm a coward. But you should know you're extraordinary. Love, Mom." Jessica was sobbing openly now. "She never wrote me letters," she said quietly. "She gave me everything else, but she never wrote me letters." And in that moment, I understood that we'd both been victims of Mom's brokenness, just in different ways. Jessica had been given everything except honesty. I'd been given nothing except, finally, the truth. The inheritance didn't matter. The house, the money, the heirlooms, none of it mattered as much as those letters, as much as Mom's confession, as much as the possibility that Jessica and I might actually become sisters instead of competitors. We sat in that conference room for 2 more hours, reading letters together, crying together, talking about our childhoods and our pain, and the mother we'd both loved despite everything. When we finally left, Jessica hugged me in the parking lot, a real hug, not the perfunctory kind we'd exchanged at holidays. "I want to know Lily," she said. "I want to be a real aunt. And I want to know you, the real you, not the version Mom made me see." I held her tight. "I'd like that." Months have passed since that while reading. Jessica and I have coffee every week now. She's in therapy, working through the pressure and conditional love she grew up with. I'm in therapy too, learning to accept that Mom's rejection wasn't about me, that I was always enough, that her inability to love me properly was her failure, not mine. Lily adores her Aunt Jessica, and watching them together heals something in me I didn't know was still bleeding. The house is full of life now. David and Lily and I moved in, and we've filled it with laughter and warmth and the kind of love Mom never learned to give. I've kept every letter. Sometimes I read them when I need to remember that even in her brokenness, Mom saw me. She saw me and couldn't find the words until it was too late. That's tragic, but it's also a kind of gift. Because now I know the truth. I wasn't invisible. I wasn't unworthy. I was just the daughter of a wounded woman who didn't know how to heal. If this story touched your heart, I hope you'll share it with someone who needs to hear it. So many of us grow up feeling invisible, feeling like we're not enough, feeling like love is something we have to earn through perfection. But that's a lie. You are enough, exactly as you are. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's inability to see it. And sometimes the greatest gift is the truth, even when it comes too late to change the past. It can still change your future. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button, share this story with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel for more real stories about real life, real pain, and real healing. Your engagement helps these stories reach people who need them, and I'm so grateful you're here. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this story and whether you've experienced something similar. This community is a safe space for all of us. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are seen, you are valued, you are enough.